what happened in our life to where we actually started bonding with that trauma, and it just became a part of our journey as it's okay or it's the right thing to do, when in all actuality, we have bonded with trauma and made it a lifestyle.
I think for me, like I said in the other episode, I feel like everybody deserves a chance, especially if I care about you or, I consider you my friend. I feel like we owe it to each other to try to find some type of, I guess, common ground, or just try to figure out what happened, what caused you to feel this way, what caused me to feel this way. As far as the trauma is concerned, I don't, when you said the part about rejection, it kind of made me think like, is that an underlying thing? No, because I don't like to be rejected. Right. I mean, I was ghosted before, and that hurt my feelings, like out of the blue. So I guess it felt like a form of ghosting when that person just continued to kind of pull back and not say anything. And I'm like, what's going on? So I guess you can kind of, merge the two and kind of find that commonality, but maybe
I can see it.
And I can say there's a part of pride in that, right? I could not have been wrong about you this whole time.
Like, that's good.
You know what I mean? This whole time, I trusted you. You came to my house. You know my child. You know my family. We broke bread. I told you all my secrets. I had all of my dirty talk with you. This can't be true.
This can't be true.
You know what I mean? That the whole pride of, I could not have been that stupid. Like, why didn't I see that? And I think that's the guilt trip as you go through recognizing the bond now is tainted. You feel guilty. You feel stupid. You feel used. You feel like, why wasn't I strong enough to recognize, or smart enough to recognize, that this person did not have my best interest in mind? Then you try to go all the way back and dig through all the trenches of the relationship and those pivotal moments and find where that person turned away from you, what struck that betrayal or the interest in that betrayal, like Satan. Like, what gave you the thought? At what point was I sitting there not realizing it? So I think that's where you start to either ignore it, go off and say, you know what, just forget about it. Yeah. It's like, where's that balance? But yeah, it's that you feeling prideful about you let somebody in your life that is now turning on you and turning the knife in your wound.
And a lot of times when we walk through the journey of the friendship, we basically walk to find all the good stuff and still ignoring all the signs that were there. Now, sometimes we do walk and we be like, oh, dang, they kind of warned me. That was a flag. That was a flag. That was a flag. But then we still try to pick out, yeah, but they did this and that. And it's like, no, the flag. Because
and you know what? It really is the same in romantic relationships. We date the same way we have our friendships. Ooh, and we ignore those red flags because we want to see the good. I will say for me, it was both trauma. I'm an only child. And so for me, when I get a friend, I really do make her my sister, right? So I understand that there is gonna be some, friction here and there because we're working, we're growing together. Yeah. But then when you do realize that the infraction has happened and you need to pull away, the rejection and abandonment wound comes up because you don't want to feel that. I can say for me. But then after I healed through that, I started to realize this has got to be my motto. Some people come in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And when I can quickly identify what space you're in, it's easier to walk away. But that's after healing. That's after going through the constant trauma bonding that you're rejecting me. What did I do? Can I, so I've gone through some of each of it. It was trauma. It was the lack of being afraid of losing someone, and not realizing that your season was just up.
Oh, that's it right there.
And I think the trauma too, when we say trauma bonding, let's just be clear. Let's define trauma bonding. I think the two words identify itself. There is trauma, something traumatic has happened in the relationship. Betrayal, we talked about that last time. Right. Lying, talking behind my back, lying,
Or just neglected me.
messing with my man.
Well, kind of like Rhonda said, the trigger was because she's already dealt with being the only child and being abandoned. Now losing a friend feels more like rejection or abandonment again. So she tries to hold on to it and try to reconcile it as often as she needs to, so that she doesn't feel
The rejection.
So she doesn't
So
feel
the
it.
So
trauma
I had to
is
heal from
rejection.
that.
The trauma
Both
would be-
rejection and abandonment, because the rejection happens before you abandon me, right?
So you keep bonding after you know you're starting to feel this thing you don't like. You'd be like, that's not true. That's not true. Give
Well,
me a
unless
hug.
you're healed. That's why I said you have to heal through it. It's not the other person. It's rejection and abandonment wounds that I had to heal from.
So
she
it's
had to
you that have the
Yeah.
trauma.
Yes.
This
Yes.
person is triggering the trauma because they're being themselves, and now you're still bonding to that person,
Yes.
even though you feel the trauma
Because
that
it's
was
familiar.